All right, so let's take a look at this in action. Let's take a look at this. So we have here the component. This is the main component. This is, as you say, the initial component called my app, and that's the one that initially loads. And we have here another component, and which is the tasks component. So as it stands right now, we don't have one component inside of the other, so we don't see the tasks component data here at all. Let's go back to our page here. And if we remember, components are directives. So we want to make sure that the component we want to use inside of my app component is part of the directives array. There it is. And we also want to make sure that the tag is there, the HTML element with the selector name. So there we go. And there we go. So let's take a look at this. We have this my app component here. It does have the directive for task component. It does have the tag as well. We should see the hello world, as well as we should see this is the tasks component. And there it is showing up, right? So definitely give this some practice and kind of do this a few times, and you'll definitely get a hang of that. So let's keep going here. Let's add this service onto this component right here. So services are providers. So we want to make sure that this component in its providers array, we include the class name for that service, such as task service. And we'll also inject this service into this component through what we call dependency injection. Here we'll say public task service, lowercase. This is the one we can change technically. And we'll give it the type of task service, which is the actual object itself, excuse me, the service itself. So now that's done, we can use that task service. So now let's get access to these tasks, or at least the array of just numbers, not a big deal there, and just see them show up on our page. Create an unordered list. And inside of that, let's create a list item. And don't forget, in here, when we do the ng4, this is the element that's going to repeat, is the one that has the ng4 tag on it. So in here, we'll say, let the single task, the single task, excuse me, of task service dot tasks, right? Because we need to, we need to get into that task service and call on the tasks key to get access to this. And then we can allow this ng4 to repeat this for us. So let's give this a shot. In the middle of this li, let's use interpolation to print the task variable that we got available to us through this ng4. Let's take a look. And there we are. So go back here to the page and recap real quick. If we go down here, we were able to add this component directive here called tasks service, it should be tasks component, into our initial component by making sure that it's in the directives array, as well as the tag is present. And then for this one here, to get access into the task service data, we made sure that we included the task service provider in the providers array. And then we also used this dependency injection to include that task service object here, which allowed us the ability to call on that object, call on its key, and then use ng4 to just print each one of those tasks in the print right here.